Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. Today you're going to see one of the new reasons why we're one of the best towns around as we unveil this wonderful program, which is we are one of the first three police departments in the state of New Jersey. The entire state of New Jersey, which has 500 and some odd towns and counties and other districts, and we're one of the top three to have this program introduced to Woodbridge Township. I don't know everything about it. We have a lot of people that are going to speak today to tell you more. So let me start with our police director, Bob Hubner, who is going to talk about it a little bit and then introduce a couple of our police officers and others. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Hubner.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to thank everybody coming out today and welcome the Attorney General and our Middlesex County Prosecutor and their staff for coming here, and everyone else as we kick off the Safe Place initiative. This is a program that is fully embraced by the Woodbridge Police Department. I'm going to ask Curry Manzini, police officer from Woodbridge, who was instrumental in bringing this to Woodbridge Township. Curry?
Good afternoon, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here with you today to share details on WPD Safe Place, a program to ensure that all members of our community feel affirmed, respected, and protected. Before I get started, I would like to acknowledge some folks that were instrumental for today's press conference. First, I'd like to start off with Acting Attorney General Andrew Brook. Acting New Jersey Attorney General Andrew Brook, who in July of 2021 was sworn in as the very first openly gay Attorney General of New Jersey, in his short time in office has been outspoken leader and has shown unwavering commitment to LGBTQ issues. And that has given new voice to the LGBTQ community and opened an opportunity for law enforcement to truly embrace and collaborate with this community. We thank him for this. Middlesex County Prosecutor Yolanda Chicone and the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, the entire office. Before working on this project, I was unaware of the depth and scope of all the resources that the County Prosecutor's Office provided. I thank them for their time and expertise. And a special thanks to Detective Ivis Molina, who's been with me throughout my entire career and assisted a great detail in providing the resources that we needed to make this program more comprehensive. Mayor McCormick and everyone in the mayor's office, from day one, Mayor McCormick has been supportive of this program when the mere idea even reached his office. I am honored to have had his support and his leadership as a very public LGBTQ ally. Mr. John Haggerty, Megan Kushba, and Kelly Mitch, in my opinion, this is Woodbridge Township's A-team. Any challenge presented to me while attempting to launch this program was quickly and innovatively disposed of by this team. I learned a lot from working with them, and I hope to have the opportunity to continue working with them. Councilwoman Lizbeth De Jesus, her vision for the potential of this program compelled me to continue to find more ways to integrate every part of this community into this program. Her support for this police department is undying, and this program was made much stronger by her input. Special word of mention for Councilwoman Nancy Drum, who I'm sure is joining us via satellite from heaven. It is only fitting that we thank her for her many years of tireless dedication to the community and to the Woodbridge Police Department. Police Director Robert Hubner, Deputy Police Director Joseph Niski, and Chief Law Enforcement Officer Captain Scott Kuzma have been incredibly supportive and have allowed us to use the resources we needed to accomplish our program's goals. Captain Robert Brady of the Radio Patrol Division and Captain Damian Nesty of the Criminal Investigations Division have allowed me to fulfill my dream of being a police officer while also collaborating with the Community Affairs Unit. Their flexibility and determination to make WPD Safe Place the best it can be is demonstrated in their support for this and many other outreach efforts. Sergeant Edward Shagantano and the Community Affairs team. Nothing could have been done without this team. From fielding the ideas in those late 2 a.m. emails to making individual contacts with business owners and community leaders. The Community Affairs team is truly the unsung heroes of this operation. Lieutenant John Hayes of the State Police, Chief Investigator Dave D'Amico, and the New Jersey LGBTQ+ Liaison Officers team. Simply put, none of us would be gathered here without you heroes, leaders, and role models. You give Officer Minsal and I the confidence and resolve to proceed with this very challenging but rewarding endeavor. Woodbridge firefighter Chris Jago. In Chris's short time as a career fireman, he has taken on many roles in his career, none of as uniquely challenging as dealing with a couple of hyperactive cops. Chris, we appreciate your patience and dedication to implementing this program with our fire companies. And finally, last but not least, Woodbridge Township School District teacher William Anderson. Will has been in constant correspondence with me and the Community Affairs team as we prepare to bring Safe Place to Woodbridge Township schools, but also develop supplemental programming addressing LGBTQ issues and awareness. His selflessness and willingness to listen to me talk for hours, during his free time at that, is a testament to his commitment to ensuring that our children receive high-quality co-curricular support to help them lead the most productive lives. Now, finally, I'd like to talk about the program's history. Safe Place was created in 2014 by Officer Jim Ritter of the Seattle, Washington Police Department. Officer Ritter was the department's first ever LGBTQ liaison officer and was tasked with overcoming the LGBTQ+ community's hesitancy to cooperate with law enforcement and to address the underreporting of anti-LGBT crime. Following his retirement in 2019, Officer Dorian Corio of the Seattle Police Department took over the program, which has now been adopted by police departments nationwide. Officer Corio now oversees licensing of the Safe Place program, in addition to data collection, updating the program, and training. Departments seeking a Safe Place license are required to adopt specific hate crime reporting procedures and provide training on how to respectfully engage members of the LGBTQ community. I'm proud to say that these elements were already requisite of Woodbridge Police Department. In 2021, Officer Minsal and I were appointed to the New Jersey LGBTQ Liaison Officers team. This team is made up of over 50+ LGBTQ officers from various local, county, and state law enforcement agencies across the state. There we met Highland Park Police Department's Officer Caitlin Dean, who had already received the license for Safe Place and implemented the program in Highland Park, New Jersey. Together, with the help of Officer Dean, we were able to adopt the program and tailor it to meet our unique needs and utilize the capabilities of our township. We are honored to carry forward the legacy of equitable and inclusive public service established by Officer Ritter in 2014. So now we're going to talk about the Woodbridge Police Department Safe Place program purpose. Woodbridge Police Department Safe Place simply reaffirms Woodbridge Police Department's mission statement and embraces our existing commitment to serving the entirety of our community. It is a law enforcement initiative that aims to positively engage and support our LGBTQ+ community by leveraging our unique and deep partnerships with local businesses and community organizations and the Woodbridge Township School District. The goals of this program are to deter hate crimes, encourage the reporting of anti-LGBTQ+ hate crimes, clearly demonstrate community support for and welcoming of the LGBTQ+ community's members' rights, and compile and disseminate a comprehensive list of services and resources to assist LGBTQ+ community members. WPD Safe Place is a purposeful show of support for inclusivity and affirmation of the LGBTQ community in Woodbridge Township. Signature recognizable WPD Safe Place decals will be prominently posted at the entrances of our partnering businesses. There, hate crime victims can be assured that they will be assisted by staff in calling 911 or our non-emergency police department phone number. Victims will be allowed to remain in a safe place inside the business until police arrive. The victim will be provided with resources and contact information for services associated with this community. So, becoming a safe place. Becoming a safe place is an easy process. Businesses interested in becoming a WPD safe place can apply by having business managers contact the police department's dedicated WPD safe place email at safeplace@twp.woodbridge.nj.us. There they will provide the names of 2 managers or supervisor contacts, the business address, the type of business, and the hours. The business will then be given instructions on the program and issued a WPD Safe Place decal. All businesses with the decal will be registered with the department, and this will be reflected in our own internal system. Displaying the WPD Safe Place decal. The WPD Safe Place decal will be an easily identifiable symbol of safety and indicate that your business, school, organization, or office is willing to assist and protect fellow citizens who are the victims of hate crimes. To execute this concept effectively, the WPD Safe Place logo will be displayed outside the front entrance of partnering businesses, organizations, and schools, approximately 3 to 5 feet from the ground. If there is no glass on the front entrance, the decal can be displayed on the interior of the building in a conspicuous location. So, responding to a WPD Safe Place. At a WPD Safe Place, staff will assist victims in contacting police. They will ensure that they are in a safe place in their building until a police officer arrives. They will stay with the victim and gather information, and when appropriate, they will be provided with a resource contact list of LGBTQ+ oriented resources and services. So let me talk to you really briefly about our resource list. Being a graduate of Rutgers University and specifically a public and nonprofit administration major, I am always aware of the tremendous potential of public-private partnerships. Within the state of New Jersey, there are a vast number of partners, both public and private, that provide valuable resources to the LGBTQ community. These include federal and state agency resources, as well as county and regional resources, service agencies, and privately funded organizations. We have compiled a comprehensive list of resources to assist victims with pressing needs ranging from socioeconomic issues like workforce development and homelessness to health-related issues like counseling, mental and sexual health, and everything in between. With the help of our partners, this list will be continuously updated so that we are able to address emerging needs and add new programs and opportunities as they become available. It is a proud day for Woodbridge Township when all citizens, including our LGBTQ+ youth, people, and older adults, feel safe and protected. It is with partners like you that we move forward today, toward that day, and I thank you for your willingness to ensure the rights of some of our most vulnerable citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Officer Manzini. I'd now like to call up for remarks from the New Jersey State Police, Lieutenant John Hayes.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in Woodbridge. New Jersey is home to some 300,000 LGBTQ+ residents, and creating safe places for our community's residents and visitors is an amazing step forward. I would like to thank Woodbridge and Woodbridge Police Director Robert Hubner and his executive staff for their leadership and dedication to making sure the LGBTQ plus community have safe places to report hate crimes and harassment. I'm also very proud of Officers Manzini and Menzel, who have recently become the department's LGBTQ liaisons. Having liaisons will allow the community to be more comfortable coming forward to report crimes and incidents. Woodbridge, thank you so much for being so progressive, Mayor, amazing. And thank you for caring about the residents and visitors that come to Woodbridge, no matter who they are, who they love, or how they identify. Thank you. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Hayes. Next up, we have Chief Investigator David D'Amico from the Middlesex County Corrections Department.
Thank you, Mayor. What a great day to be standing here in Woodbridge Township, surrounded by an amazing team of governmental leaders, community stakeholders, law enforcement professionals, all coming together as a team to protect and serve our community and to make history by being one of the first law enforcement agencies to recognize the strength of our diversity, represented by rolling out the Woodbridge Police Department Safe Place Initiative. As stated by all of our previous speakers today, is an historic moment when we, as a community, come together and work together by providing a safe haven for our most vulnerable victims, the victims selected for no other reason than who they are. As a 32-year law enforcement veteran, I began my law enforcement career right here in Woodbridge as a state correctional police officer for the New Jersey Department of Corrections, assigned to the Adult Diagnostic and Treatment Center in Avenel back in 1989. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Over 32 years ago, now serving as the Chief Investigator for Middlesex County Department of Corrections Youth Services and the President of the New Jersey Bias Crime Officers Association. Recently, Woodbridge Township had their first LGBTQ flag raising, recognizing the diversity within Woodbridge Township. Shortly after that flag raising, Lieutenant Hayes and I had an opportunity to meet with Director Hubner and the entire command staff and discuss appointing an LGBTQ law enforcement liaison. We were humbled by their response. Not only was their response absolutely, but in fact, they advised us they have 2 police officers ready to assume the collateral duties of liaison, Police Officer Manzini and Police Officer Minsal, who stepped up as law enforcement leaders to assume those responsibilities. After that meeting, both Officer Manzini and Minsal joined the team of New Jersey LGBTQ law enforcement liaison leaders within their respective communities, role models to the LGBTQ plus community. Today, Lieutenant Hayes and I are joined by over 60 law enforcement professionals representing 35 law enforcement agencies across the state. In fact, today in the room with us is not only Lieutenant John Hayes from the State Police, who you already met, but Assistant Director Jerry Calabrese of the Kane University Police Department. Jerry. Senior Parole Officer Brenda Payne from New Jersey Division of Parole. Brenda. And Monmouth County Correctional Police Officer Jeremy August from Monmouth County Sheriff's Office. Jeremy. Within weeks of our meeting with Director Hubner, Officer Manzini and Minsal hit the ground running, meeting with community stakeholders, attending community-based outreach events, rebuilding bridges of trust between the LGBTQ community and the Woodbridge Police Department by traveling across the state representing Woodbridge Township and entertaining community engagement events and liaison meetings. Today, we join you, Officer Manzini and Minsal. We partner with you, and we thank you for being true heroes, leaders, and role models, and taking the initiative to roll out the Woodbridge Police Department Safe Space Initiative, Place Initiative. As the president of the New Jersey Bias Crime Officers Association, at the end of business each day, I get to see the unprecedented number of bias incidents requiring a law enforcement response across our state. According to the New Jersey State Police Uniform Crime Report, the LGBT community is ranked 3rd overall in victimization. Being a law enforcement officer for over 32 years and now the president, I have oftentimes thought that that number was skewed, mainly because a lot of times the LGBT community doesn't feel safe coming to law enforcement and doesn't feel safe coming out in front of law enforcement or to community leaders. Our biased victims are the most vulnerable victims, victims selected for no other reason than who they are. Today, Woodbridge Township is making a very bold statement. Citizens, residents, and visitors know that if you are anywhere in Woodbridge Township, you have a group of stakeholders saying welcome. You are welcome here. Woodbridge Township wants not only to welcome you, but to assure that you are safe. Today makes history as Woodbridge Township recognizes that their diversity is their strength. I want to really give a huge shout out and thank you to Officer Manzini, Officer Mansell, our Attorney General, Andrew Bruck, the Mayor, McCormick, and the entire Woodbridge Council. Thank you, Director Hubner, and the entire team of the Woodbridge Township Police Department. Thank you, community stakeholders. And on behalf of the New Jersey LGBTQ law enforcement liaisons, stay safe. We will partner with you.
Thank you, Mr. D'Amico. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce my colleague in public service in Woodbridge Township, Councilwoman Lizbeth DeJesus.
Good afternoon. Thank you for all being here. Today we are here to officially announce the WPD Safe Place program. If you will give me a few moments to remember Councilwoman Nancy Drum. Nancy loved life, and she loved everyone. So I'm sure she would have been standing next to me, not only because this was her ward, but because she fully supported this program. We, once again, in Woodbridge, proved that when local government and local businesses work together for the betterment of our community, great things happen. I would like to acknowledge the great leadership in our police department under Director Hubner, Deputy Director Niski, and Captain Kuzma, and of course, our Mayor, John McCormick. Officer Mancini and Officer Mansell, I can't even say how proud I am of both of you. Officer Mancini brought up the idea, and they not only listened, but supported it and have been instrumental in making it a reality. I take pride in the diverse community that we serve here in Woodbridge, and I truly believe that WPD Safe Place will be beneficial for all of our residents. Safe Place will ensure that anyone that faces any bias, hate crime will know that there are places in our township with people that have been trained to help them. Anyone, regardless of race, religious belief, or sexual orientation, can feel safe to go to our designated safe places for help, or just simply to rest and not feel singled out. Our safe place are places of non-judgment and care. I am a strong believer that the stability of communities is how we can all come together to address the needs of all. To me, this once again proves why we are not only the best police department in the state, but also why we are the best town around. I extend my sincere gratitude to our police department, Officer Mancini, Officer Mansell, and all of our partners in creating safe places in Woodbridge Township. God bless you all.
Thank you, Councilwoman DeJesus. Before going to our closing remarks from Acting Attorney General Bruck, I'd like to introduce a couple other people. All the way to the left is our Deputy Police Director, Joe Niski. You heard him referred to a couple times tonight. Next to Lizbeth is Chief of Staff and former Councilwoman Carolyn Ehrlich. We have with us, you heard her introduced before, the Prosecutor of Middlesex County, Yolanda Chacon, and her Chief of Staff, Paul Miller. I met Yolanda several years ago when she was making the rounds upon making an appointment, and we had lunch in downtown Woodbridge, and I said to her, you know, as a public official, I hope I never see you again. Because who wants to ever see the county prosecutor? Just knock on their door. It's not never good. But I think we'll make an exception today if that's okay with everybody. Our business administrator, Vito Simaluka. You heard him introduce Sergeant Chicatano and Detective Zeno, who's just walking in the back there from the Woodbridge PD. I want to echo, everybody's talked about Kari and Jess. I'm going to get that. Everybody's talked about Kari and Jess. I want to just reiterate my respect for the job that they've done in bringing this program and the leadership that they've shown. We have the best police department in the state of New Jersey, with all due respect to the rest of you. I'm sorry. And I talk about it all the time. Every 3 years, we're accredited by a national law enforcement agency, CALEA, and every 3 years we have the closing conference, and these people from all over the country come and they sit with us, and they always tell me that you literally have one of the best police departments in the country So I say we're number one in the state, that's good, but we're one of the best in the country. That's because of Bob and Joe and Scott, and it's because of police officers like Eddie and Mark and Jess and Kari, so thank you. I'd also like to introduce a young man who runs our Performing Arts Center, Anthony Wilkinson, who I met many years ago when he gave a speech at Colonia High School, and he talked about what it was like growing up as a gay man in Staten Island. And I'm telling you, in my entire career working for government, I have never seen 1,000 high school kids silent, quiet, no phones, every eye looking at that young man and listening to his story. And I was so impressed by it. We wound up becoming friends and socializing, and the first chance we had, we actually hired him to run our theater. Anthony Wilkinson, thank you for being here. And the last person I want to introduce and thank is a young lady who's about a third my age. She's a freshman in college. She graduated with honors in the top 20 from Colonia High School last year. About 18 months ago, or maybe close to 2 years ago, she wrote this beautiful email to our recreation director, Brian Molnar, and he shared it with me. And what she said in the email was, I am looking to establish a place in Woodbridge Township where LGBTQ plus students can come. It can be a happy place. It can be a safe place. She described this program before she even knew about it. She described it perfectly. And she said, if you can find something for me, I would like to make that my Girl Scout Gold Award project. Now, Girl Scout Gold Award, I've been mayor 15 years. I've done probably 100 Eagle Scouts, and I've done 4 Girl Scout Gold Awards. It's very few girls go all the way to get that award. It's an incredible accomplishment. So anyway, we talked about our community center. We really couldn't find any place, but we knew we were getting this building. So we talked about a room upstairs, 2 rooms upstairs, and young Molly Rubin, who's over here to my left in the white sweater, made that her project. She furnished it, she put in carpet, all other kind of things, and made that the place. And she's going to have more things happening there. And I'm proud to say that in late May or early June, when she's back from college, she's going to have the ceremony celebrating her Girl Scout Gold Award here. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one courageous young lady. And I'm so incredibly proud of her and what she's done for our town. And now, after all that, I don't know how you can beat that, Mr. Acting Attorney General, but I would like to introduce Acting Attorney General Andrew J. Bruck, who we met a couple of weeks ago when Carol and I were out in a restaurant in New Brunswick on some town business. It was town business, I assure you. We ran into Andrew. He was with a friend of mine from a long time ago, and we had a great talk. And I said, you know, Kari, do you know Jess? He said, are you kidding me? They're the best. So we had a long talk about this program and long talk about his experience in Trenton, which we were there for 4 years, many, many years ago. And I'm incredibly impressed by the job that he's done so far, leading the Attorney General's office, leading everybody down in Trenton. He's been great, and I'd like to now proudly introduce Acting Attorney General Andrew J. Bruck.
Oh, man. It is so great to be here. It really is. I feel so honored to be invited to participate in this. I feel so lucky to be surrounded by so many friends and colleagues and folks who are doing good things here in Woodbridge. I want to thank Mayor McCormick for that very kind introduction and for the incredible work he's done here as the mayor in Woodbridge and also for his years of service in state government. You know how challenging and ugly Trenton can be, and you survived nonetheless and came out stronger for it. I want to thank Prosecutor Ciccone, who just does a wonderful job as the county prosecutor. We are so lucky to have her, and does a great, great job keeping this county safe. I want to thank Director Hubner and everyone here in the Woodbridge Police Department, especially Officers Manzini and Mansell, who just are absolutely the best. I remember my first day as Acting Attorney General back in July, and folks in the office asked me what I wanted to do for the first day. And I told my team that I would love to find all of the openly LGBT law enforcement officers in the state and see if they'd be willing to come down and spend some time chatting with me that day. Sure enough, they came, which was really nice of them, and we spent about an hour just talking with each other. And It was notable because on that day I was becoming for the first time the first openly LGBTQ chief law enforcement officer in New Jersey. But these folks had been actual law enforcement officers and openly LGBT long before I got here. They had been doing the real work in the trenches, winning over folks in their police departments, winning over folks in their communities, showing that you can serve while being open about your life. And I wanted to thank them for the incredible work that they've done. And you guys were there, and Lieutenant Hayes was there, and Investigator D'Amico was there, and a bunch of other folks in this room were there. And I am so delighted to now come to Woodbridge and be able to highlight the good work that they're doing in their home community. That is one of the best parts of this job. I don't think Trenton has a monopoly on good ideas, often far from it. And one of the most important things that I do as the acting attorney general is go around the state and highlight the good work that's bubbling up in our communities. And the Safe Space program that Woodbridge is launching is a great example of that. We have made a lot of progress within the LGBTQ community in New Jersey, but I am very aware of the fact that the very same week that Governor Murphy announced that I'd be stepping into this position, there was a man in Hudson County who was beaten and attacked and nearly killed because the attacker thought that he was gay, right? At the same time that someone like me is elevated to the position that I now occupy, there are members of this community who are facing hostility and bias and violence, and it's a reminder about how much further we have to go. One of the things that's great about the Safe Space program is how it makes clear that there are allies in the community. There are safe spaces that you can go. I remember being a closeted 17-year-old, right? And there's a bunch of folks in this room who are members of the LGBT community. I think you know what it's like. I remember the fear and the isolation, the terror that you feel being in the closet, of feeling like no one understands you, and if anyone were to find out, that you would be rejected and hated. And for many of us, we came out of the closet and now have happy and productive lives, and we see that that wasn't the case, but I remember that fear. And I remember being in the closet and seeing every once in a while a bumper sticker on a car of a rainbow flag, or a house that had the rainbow flag out front. And you knew that there was someone in that space who was supportive of your community and who cared about you and wasn't afraid to make that public. And for folks who are victims of bias crimes, who are victims of hate crimes, it is so important that we signal to them that there are places that they can go that are safe. There are places where they can go, where they are loved, where they are cared for, where they'll be respected. And if they're victims of crime, their injuries will be taken seriously and investigated by law enforcement. That makes them feel comfortable coming forward. That makes them feel safe. It makes them feel respected. It gives them a sense of dignity. And it's part of how we build trust between law enforcement and the communities we serve. That's exactly what this program is doing. And it's a credit to the folks here in Woodbridge who recognize that, who are willing to put themselves out there, and are willing to build something like this. And I look forward to going to all of the other police departments in the state as they get Woodbridge's good idea and do it themselves. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, and look forward to coming back. Thanks a lot.
Well, I think that wraps everything up, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming. This was a wonderful event, and we're so proud of our people. We're so proud of those who came from the county, from the state, to share this with us, and thank you all for coming.